welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I question my bit rate still, because I like bit, because I'm not a fan of not seeing normal amount, so this is where I look at the thing, and it says excellent connection, but who knows how that actually is the case, considering, you know, I'm having to utilise a lower amount than I appreciate the idea of, because YouTube's been telling me, oh, this is too much, this is too much, this is too much, so, you know, it's just worthwhile me thinking that one through. If something looks wrong, please someone let me know, or I don't know. But anyway, last time we finished up the Crystal Tower, we got this title, and hey, silver linings, we don't have to deal with Nero for the time being, which is great. Nice that he was separate from the shenanigans of the main story. Anyway, this time we are heading into the patch 2.3 content. So yeah, everything seems rather lovely actually at the moment. We've got Domans about, other adventurers that happen to be off the area about, Yozen hopefully not performing a terrible tumble and getting me to reference Final Destination. But anyway, into the Solar to pick up the quest, The Great Divide. From Infilia, and the preview picture is of Alphino, because of course it bloody is. Our friends, the Fairy Isle itself, everyone and everything. Oh yeah, last time in the main story content, before we went and did the Crystal Tower stuff, an isle that had the headquarters of the students of Baldajon just went like that. I of course blame a space ion, but hey, you know, that's a different series. I'm not Final Fantasy. No. It fails us not to speculate. UANJ will send word if there are any developments. Till such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. Go ahead then, Antidescent. Khan's etheric fluctuations, which we have previously attributed to good King Mogulmog XII. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. I haven't done the extra version, I haven't done King Lives. So technically King Mogulmog is back, but yeah, we'll ignore that. Yet all is not well in the Twelveswood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Oh, darn. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Ah, knock on the door. Asilia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. Oh. What manner of problem? A band of refugees, hailing from Oldar. This time have come to Weatherman's Toll seeking asylum. Well, that's quite a track. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they are in the 7th heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet them at once. Oh, well, who would have guessed this would happen? Asilia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Chris, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. I guess I can make things go more soothing with my healing spells? I don't know. I could probably heal the wounded actually, to be fair. But gee, Aldar is the place that knew first and foremost of the Domans being able to take refuge here. Gee, I wonder why there might be refugees coming here. It's not like there's definite people in Aldar who want nothing to do with any refugees ever. Why would they not try sending them this way? Besides, the number of them that would die just making their way to Weatherman's Toll in and of itself probably cuts down on the number of those that may end up, if we turn them back around, maybe the West will die in the process. You know, that's how it may be. But anyway, this is the refugee we need to talk to. Which means cutscene. Hooray! Apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfilia and I lead the Signs of the Seventh Dawn. 12, be praised. It is you! We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know naught of your situation. I beg your pardon, Adjacent. I ain't too good with words. Been living off the scraps of old off for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one they got took. They say there's work, but there's naught for an honest man. Naught as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms. Anyway, the flames do what they can for us, of course, but they ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those witch bastards in the sea didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. They pulled the ladder up, as the saying goes. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The question was where, and it came to me. Reverence told. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. We did it for some foreigners, so therefore... I feel the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathise deeply with your plight, but pray understand it's not possible for an organisation of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. So it is with great regret that I must deny your request. Why am I even here then? But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? Haha! Time, I gotta say, this is bad PR for the Scions. Oof, they've been having one hell of a bad PR week. If I might have a word, Tataru has a suggestion. Oh, Tataru, it's all amiss. Ill tidings from Eldar, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. Oh no. Stutteringness. If it's just a splinter, Alphino needs to suck it fucking up. If he's currently in a coma with several crushed ribs and arms and a lot of blood loss, then okay, we should actually start being concerned. What? How? Is it serious? Cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. Oh. That's not so good. No, that can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. And all it takes is one bad actor and suddenly... Man, these peace-loving people sure do love destroying things. 7 hells. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll wind us up and kill anyone who tries to assist. And he doesn't please. If he won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady. We are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I'm not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. Hello, healer here. I can heal wounds. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. No. How can you be so blind? Find Alphino, and quickly. If he is in danger, or worse, we'll have you and none other by his side. Alright, fair enough. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Yido and Palpamo will see to it. Alright, fair enough. They can do that. I'll go and find Alphino. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Well, that doesn't sound as serious then, actually. Hurry, Chris. Oh, teleport. You guys lucky there's teleportation magic and that. They really need to... Well, anyways, to the Hourglass. Actually, while I'm there, I might as well grab a bunch of repairs to my gear. Oh look, Alphino looks completely fine. Okay, since he... Like, everyone was worrying for no reason. I'm just gonna sort out my gear and real quick on the stuff there. upkeep. I want to retire to an inn room. And anything that stores in the armory. Nope. Which means we need to actually go into the glamour dresser. That's Frontage. There's a Grimoires. Conjurer. Then Cleric Circlet and the Royal Crown, as we have better stuff. Apparently we already have better stuff than the Cyclist Robe of Healing, so we get to put that in, as well as the Cleric's Robe. Just go check. Demon Scout Casting, we'll keep the Demon Scout Casting for the time being. We'll do that. Since we are slowly actually getting pizza gear we can actually put in here, there we go, that's a glamour. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Doesn't look too bad, to be fair. Maybe I need to add some additional other things into the mix, but you know. And we have the Omni Wad or the Ifrit's Can we can have, you know. We can just discard the changes, because, yeah. But I should probably at this point. I should remember to do this before going into places, so that at least the portrait's actually there, you know? Right, okay, that's sorted out. Let's talk to Alpha now. How are you doing, Alpha now?
Come. You must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident.
Well done. Where's that morphin? Oh, then I want my window open. There's how things flying.
There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over.
Right, could things stop boiling over? Could we save this for like a couple patches later, by any chance?
Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy
Thanks
and
for
the
the
poor.
recap, Alphino.
The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life.
To an extent. Got to at least put in some amount of effort in life, although there are those that don't have
money
to bother
is the
slightest because
foremost,
they're born
and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence.
Yep. That is capitalism.
So where do the
101.
refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamiga and the destruction of the Calamity?
Nowhere, because they're broke.
Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dah way of thinking, they may as well not exist.
Which is dumb, but once again, that's how capitalism works.
Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor.
Which only
Yet
goes
none
so
would
far.
dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Ul'dahs to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry.
Yeah, if you're constantly just getting beaten down repeatedly, getting treated like you don't exist, you will slowly, more and more, build up an amount of just unending rage at the people who are keeping you down. Some people will go to drastic measures, and it's those people you need to not have represented.
The manner of Lord Lodlorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions.
They probably stand on boxes
It
going,
was only
I
a matter of
hate
time
other
before
people.
The refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence.
Although, to be fair, if it's a situation of someone who isn't a refugee pretending to be one and inciting violence, then that's bad. That's really bad. That you're basically hoping to be able to use it as a scapegoat to be able to get what you want out of it. If it is just refugees being too pissed off, then maybe there is a matter of policy that does need to actually be thought of. Ugh. This is just reminding me of just all of the fucking stupid talks about the bloody boats over the past couple of years getting to the UK. It's like, yes, random county in the middle of the Midlands that has no access to the sea. You getting a reformed UK person is going to somehow magically make the boats all just blip out of existence. Wait, no, that's not how that works at all.
That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated
How
beyond
convenient that the people there to make sure the refugees don't get attacked or decide to be an idiotic person decides to do something is the one time they are gone. Who would have thought? Well, anyway, that was the quest. We'll take the Daystar earrings. And Avalo wishes to investigate the circumstances surrounding the riot. Let's start a riot. Let's start a riot. Oh, come on. When I was in Greg and Benjamin having great to fight on my screen a whole bunch. And as I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur, given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Walbin has to say upon the matter. You know what? Yeah, sure, let's talk to him. Hey, Walbin, we know you probably have some amount of bias. What the fuck are you doing in this situation? As anyone else would have a level of bias, depending on what their job description is. You know, I do quite like the God's Awesome music. It's just a joyous occasion. Anyway, Robin! It's good to see him again. Now it's not a good time, Chris. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Yeah, fair enough. That's actually partly why I'm here. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Ah, yes. Alphino, back on your feet already. We may credit my swift recovery to your Cherwagons. Just call them healers. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Powers of resistance remain throughout Farahland. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine, given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the old citizenry and the refugee population has increased since the Domans were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single guild to spend? Who could not survive without the aid provided by the Immortal Flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point already, Alphino, for fuck's sake. Very well, my point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. Alright, okay, well, we'll just go and figure it out. Alright then. General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim without the necessary proof that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the Montourists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Quest. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries into someone suspected of harbouring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may bulk out a request for such information, but I have no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. Hardy har. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Alright. Surprised we're not having to do anything too desperate, seeing as the quest is called Desperate Times, which normally would call for desperate measures. You look as though you have something to say, Quest. Do you? Yes, I certainly do. I have to go now. Planet needs me. I died on my way to home planet. What you ask is no simple favour. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well, Brass Base has reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. Maybe unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the blades posted there. Alright, fair enough. To Lost Hope area, which is this way. Well, more just will take our way through right to get there. Since that is in Central, I'm not sure if we've been there, but it is just past Blackbush, so. Let us fly to our location that is needed to be at. And while we're on, well, I'll do that because that's not getting done at the moment. In the slightest. I'll admit to that that's not happening for a long while at the moment. Flying through my pristine uniform. There's the NPCs. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you come to the right place. Oh, you mean those refugees? Oh, no, you won't find them here. Most people also have come to accept that situation and content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that. Well, that merchant who passed through recently. Good garrulous fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Interesting. For no alternate are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. Refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Sartar Waka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Sarawaka. Sazawaka. He will explain everything. Alright, let's go and speak with Sazawaka then. Behold, the light from my staff. I like having another weapon. Ah, don't hurt me! I'm not one of them! I beg your pardon, you're not a flame. I see. If Leofic bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 12 be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the warning cast to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our dear lists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent and you'll understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized he is by the bloodshed he'd witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. Alright, well, I know, let's just walk up to the terrified person who's clearly suffering from PTSD. What? What are you doing? Don't draw! Don't draw! Don't draw! Don't draw! Don't draw! Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together, then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why? Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Okay, this guy is, in a very bad space. There, we comfort. Who are you? What do you want? Aye, it's true. I followed the merchant, and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had bought and implored us to seize control of our fates. Though I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited he split us into two groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting. The flames were shouting to give no quarter, and oh gods, the other group, they're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Oh, well, that's not good at all. We'll take an all. And chuck it on. The other refugees are hiding in the cave south of Lost Hope, but approaching them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultan and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. Pox and all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we had never listened to the merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one man. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Well, we can give it a try. We're not going to guarantee success. There's other things, they're pretty far gone. Here we go, there's a desperate refugee. 7 hells! They found us! Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point! So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint ye, lad, but we're more than willing to kill ye ourselves. You can take me. Man, the rest we know, stones don't kill people. People kill people. What of ye forgetting? See, this is the thing. We have fought multiple real strong stuff, but they don't. They just think that I'm just some twat that's working for the enemy. Ooh, these actually are hurting. Presence. There we go. You beat them like it was nothing. Father Almighty, what are we gonna do now? Oh. No. Wait. No. He's impervious to bullet. Quick, everyone, take your suicide pills. Hopefully that stops them from being idiots. You've returned! Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than they'll all get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? There was no merchant. Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throne to recruit others. Ah, shit. Well, we better stop him then. So if I let you, how do you find anything? Merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's fight, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him. Convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Alright, well then we better try and stop this merchant. Before it's too late. Oh, here's a person. We'll talk to them. See what they know. Whatever they are crying, because they're the child. Have you seen my parents? No, I just got here. They told me to stay with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Oldar. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Say, mister, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. Mayhaps there's one in the same. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Intriguing. Wait, look! Over there! I think that's him! Oh. Ain't that convenient? Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? Hello? I'm the one person you didn't want to see here. You! Anyway. He's getting away! Go get him, mister! I will do that. Shame about our parents, they're probably dead. Get back here, you actually rather speedy merchant, you. How the... I guess we pursue on foot or something? Because otherwise this makes no sense as to why that would be where it would go. Oh well. Stop right there, criminal scum. You violated the law under my watch. Now pay with your blood. Pulls out sword. You again! Why are you pursuing me? What? Sedation? Treason? Revolution? That's preposterous! Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Oldar? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations? None. Actually, I have proof. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Fames. You have no way to detain me. But for the sake of the argument, let us say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a quid's ass about politics? It was business. Only business. Yeah, changing your tone real quick there. I smell conspiracy. Oh look, a conspiracy. We both know I'm not the one you want. However, you've agreed to protect me. I swear, I shall tell you everything. Now we're talking. This is good. This is good. That's an arrow to the chest. Shit. Chose the right weather conditions to do that, because it's not hard to see this. What's all this commotion? What do you... this guy just got shot with an arrow. 7 hells! Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Man, it's a good thing we're not playing a bard. Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. Well, I was giving chase. Oh, this man was responsible for the recent riots. We owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious you're not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, sire. Yes, unfortunately, that was the lead I was hoping to have. So, yes. Clearly, someone doesn't want the guy going. It was this person. He told me, even if we were to believe what he said, it would at least be something. We could at least look into it. So, getting murdered like that is unfortunate, but not surprising in the slightest. There's a lot of powerful people here in Oldar. The suspect list is very high as to who wants to deal with this situation by killing the guy in my room, who is most likely going to be like, fine, I'll talk, I'll say anything, instead of getting beaten up by me, because obviously I'd beat him up to a pulp and then heal him, because healing, and you know, that could be a fate worse than death. What news, Chris? Where is the merchant? Dead. Murdered? Damn it all to the seventh hell! He was not simply murdered, Chris, he was silenced. Too many knew his face and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair though, remember be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realise. Hooray! I'll take the glom joker. Revolution! No! No! Don't revolt more, please! Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the fragment chamber as soon as you entered. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries, as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Overno has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bond following. Alright, off to the Royal Promenade then. At least we're out of the way now. So that's a positive. There be Bartholomew. We've been expecting you, sir. Please proceed inside. Alright. And we get ourselves a Daystar necklace. This is the bit that I mind on that.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Well, good that we're here to help then, eh?
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
Well, have they?
This information does not leave this room.
Alright. You hear that, people? Don't
The
speak of
Syndicate's
this.
decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination.
I mean, been rather hard on refugees for a while. Some people who've come from a different land are like, we need help, please help, and you go, no. Some of them probably would immediately think, aha, this proved the biases that I needed to be proven by circumstantial evidence.
Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate.
Fair enough, they're allowed to do that.
Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence.
Well, that's not so bad then.
Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
Alfredo, what did you
A
do?
unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters.
Those brass
It was
blades
this atrocity which
probably
prompted
got
the
paid.
refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. a merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Well, maybe we should, nah, crap, he's part of the syndicate. But, yeah, clearly this is not surprising in the slightest, to be honest. Why would people of money not want to, like, make it so, like, hey guys, look, that over there, that's the evil. Murder the shit out of that. Instead of them being the ultimate evil that they truly are. Because then if people started pointing the fingers at them, they'd have to suddenly be like, oh, I'm not the evil. So, you know, and they have the money to go around playing around with the influence of proceedings, of course. So, yeah, there's not surprising in the slightest.
Teleji Adeleji.
He's a witch person, Alphino. Do you really expect him to be any different from the others?
But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight.
Oh,
Why would
who
he do
knows?
such a
Maybe
thing?
he's being framed. That is the other alternative. Someone else in the syndicate wants him gone, pays a merchant with coin that is definitely written on the paper as like, this is money of Teleji, and proceed to set the wheels in motion. Try and get him kicked out the syndicate, or removed forever from anything in Oldar, get him exiled. It's an option. I'm not favouring either direction, but you know, the
Know you
possibilities
of the
are there.
Cartano Reclamation Bill?
Trying to reclaim Cardano.
It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
It's an option. How close to Golemode is Cantanu? Because I didn't play the original 14, so.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a
Though
battle.
to be fair, it is like ground zero of where Bahamut showed up, so. For obvious reasons, it's
The
not exactly the
destruction
best
wrought by
place.
Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins.
Hey, we
which
dealt
no
with
record
ancient
existed.
Allegan ruins that got exposed from the calamity occurring. We already dealt with one. Maybe we could deal with another.
There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. At the end of the day,
Yet
'cause-
differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations.
good. Good,
In
good, good.
full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill.
Which is
A
not the
shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one
It's prime
conceivable
real
way.
estate.
If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
Yeah, orphanage. Probably, if the plan is to be able to get witches out of Argent ruins, yeah. Certainly a method.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for
I
personal
have this
gain.
fun idea. How about we just don't trust any member of the syndicate, we lock them all in a cupboard and push it off a cliff. It's a suggestion. It would deal with them, and then we could take their wealth and throw it in the air and go,
He walks a
here's
path all his
tons
own,
of money!
independent of any
Hooah!
faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the syndicate.
Well, he may walk a lonely
By
road
inciting
then.
the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable
We
solution.
need somewhere to keep these people. Unfortunately, in Eorzea, there's no place called Rwanda to fly them over to. Why the fuck did the Conservatives think that that was a good idea? Oh, and more reason. Of course, everyone got more reason for politics.
Sympathy for the plight of the
El
Domins
Salvador.
was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees.
Well, you see, they're all
be
part
no
of an
doubt.
Alamegan gang. We're not even going to affect to make sure that that's even correct, but just trust us. We're the ones with all the money. Happens all the bloody time.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special
yeah,
about
you
these
went around
ruins
for the
that he
Crystal Tower
would risk
stuff.
his position on the
Argent
Syndicate?
ruins.
And, most likely, charges of treason
we
against
say
the
more?
Sultanate.
Omega.
Oh. Oh, that's lovely. Because there's always must be certain stuff in a Final Fantasy. If Omega is what I think it is, oh no. How about we just don't touch these Argent ruins? These seem to be like the ones we should probably just leave the fuck alone. Or that could help set up us another raid.
An Oligon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated.
Recently, the villain, well, a villain for the most recent Doctor Who two-parter finale. The less said about that, the better in the eyes of quite a few people on the internet. But then again, I haven't trusted the internet ever since the days when I first started using the internet, and it's like, wait, hold on, these bad things I enjoyed. The internet says that I should feel bad for liking it. No! And that's how I became jaded when it came to my enjoyment of any of the bad Sonic games that I happened to enjoy. Thank goodness I wasn't a child when Sonic Forces happened. Oh god, I would not want to be I would not want to be in that timeline of events. Ugh.
Oligon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself.
Man, these Algerns really had a lot of lofty ideas.
If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down.
I have a great
upon
idea.
Continent
We take that meteor up there, the moon, we'll descend it into Cartanu. It will conveniently wake up Omega and Bahamut at the same time, and then they can kill each other. Hooray!
Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder
should have been that
Primal
it
may
would
well have
destroy
seemed
it.
like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut?
Yes.
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
Well, clearly
At
that
present,
might not be the
Omega
case
is
then.
more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential
You know
cannot
what, maybe it's because
accurately
I've
be gauged.
just done the Crystal Tower, but maybe we should keep a closer eye on Nero then? Oh no,
However,
that just feels
if
like a good
someone were to
idea.
restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have
then
little
again, it's in
doubt that he would
Carly,
wield untold power.
Who knows?
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
Okay, so we should put a stop to all his schemes now and arrest him, or if he's somewhere to go, kill him.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
All of the Syndicate want power to an extent. They're money-grubbing rich people.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
So someone was listening. Damn it.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Although we're in a world of magic, once again, I always think, like, it's a world of magic. What are the chances that someone puts, like, a recorder of a room, like a magic thing that's invisible, and just records everything that ever gets said in said room? In, like, a lot of rooms? For information gathering purposes? Hooray! The Art of War 2! 6.21% of people have managed to get to level 60 with a Disciple Ball Magic class on Xbox. Hooray! The story is retold. I should be glad to know the truth. And yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. Yeah, I'd rather we not get involved with the Syndicate's shenanigans. I'd rather just go back to fighting primals. That just seems more fun. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? But they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interests to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task. Private Fur, do take a moment to visit the Adder's Nest and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Alright, I'll go to Gridania then. Be gone, whelp! This is no place for children. Why are we bullying children now? I'm sorry. Oh, it's the girl from earlier. You okay? Hey, I was looking for you, mister. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? Yeah, her parents were caught up in all the merchant stuff. So he fears his stone throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Nice guy, Alpha, no. Of course. But first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. This sounds like an easy way for the child to get kidnapped, but who am I to talk? Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. We're supposed to be talking to secrets. I'll take it to the correct hand. Mayhap Modi will know what to do. A legion of garlands, an Aether Staff Primal, even dealing with an Ashian would be preferable to this charade. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, while concerned for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. I'm not a fan of this idea already. Chris, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Reverend's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the Trollswood has taken a turn for the worst. I will explain in detail once you arrive. Well, it looks like we might be having to do something in the Trollswood. That's rather convenient, actually. Having wanted us to go there as well. Trollswoods. Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. Received no reports of Relaxia activity, which leaves the Sylphs? Go, Chris. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when your wife doing for the antidote that while I am grateful for her concern, she didn't fear for my safety. I'm more than capable of protecting myself. Fair enough. You do you, Alphino, and go and help that child out. I will go about doing the more busy work. That is much more important. We don't even get sent to bloody Reverend's Toll in the process. God damn it. Alright, and we're back in Reverend's Toll. Charging our way through. Man, we're level 60. Now that we are level 60, there are more classes technically we could grab. If I bought Shadowbringers for this service account. In Dancer and Gunbreaker, a tanking and a ranged DPS. We saw a Dancer in Wild Darkness just recently, but yeah, I don't have Shadowbringers, so quite literally we can't get them, which, you know, it's fine. Besides, that means you can actually, technically, if you get to this point before before you get to Heavensward. It's like, you can get Gunbreaker before Dark Knight. And Dancer before Machinist. Like, It was a relief to see you healthy and hale, Chris. The latest news from Mordor was most disturbing. How so? Clearly, the only injury Alphinaud suffered was to his ego. Not too sure on that one as well, to be honest. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. Ready to begin? I will summon them now. Alright then. We'll go Knock Twisters. Lord of Leven, aka Wamu! Which means lightning magic. Ugh. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business then. I received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their reserved guardian, the primal Wamu. I'm sorry, may have. Then it is not certain. The Elder Seed here informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Leven's return to the forest. Sylph's lands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antidescent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Wamu is reputed to act only in defense of his children. I imagine that he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Will we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it should surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen. Just not this soon. I beg your pardon? You foresaw this eventuality and you did naught to prevent it? Yida, you idiot! You idiot! Moron! Dumbass! Words I can't say. I told Palprimo. I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Wamu once right after the calamity, but that was because the Guardians came tramping through the forest. And so long as Castromoran stands, Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Yido and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. Still should have said something. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violent Noldar drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. Damn it. Just like that, the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in the mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for primals coming. And it's not Gridania's fault on this one. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Chris, though your dealings with the Sylphs still solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Wamu can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. I have fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would have not been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Wamu's presence. The Elder Seed has requested your personal involvement, Chris. Pray report to Commander Helux at the Adder's Nest as soon as you're able. Yeah, right, yeah, that makes sense. Still yourself for the worst, while I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter. Experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Leven will prove less than admirable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. Okay, find 7 other twats to do a trial, hooray! And of course, we can actually go on to Google and we have Lord of Leven, and there's only one other quest before we actually get the thing. Because they did this wonderful thing with this storyline, they cut a bunch of it. They legit cut out a whole bunch of quests that you cannot do now. But you know what? Fair enough. if there's literally nothing important in it, then just wasting our time, then that's fine. Cut down on filler is always a good idea. Ah, Private Fur, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Indeed. There's a giant beaver. That's a minion. Sadly, Chris don't speak beaver. I might, but Chris don't. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I wouldn't have you do so without delay. The elder Caesar, of course, however, would speak with you first. You have the opinion that your diplomatic, rather than martial skills, may better serve our cause. I'll leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make way to Nautica's altar. The conjuring attendants will admit you to the lotus stand. Yep, that's the standard approach to this at this point. Pirates in Limsa, refugees in Eorzea. What does Gridania have? Oh, you know, the races have something primals, and if you do some of the class quests, a bit of racism. Outsiders. The other side's what we're over, sir. May I show you in? Yeah, they don't have to talk to Helix to get to this bit. It's just fucking bullshit. A Sylphic servant has gone here. Good.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest.
Good to just outright just go, yeah, no, he's been summoned. You might want to deal with it.
Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace.
It's a little sylph. Which one are you?
Our guest informs us that the sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin.
Well, they do
Though
live
his
close,
exact
so
whereabouts
that
remain
logic makes
unknown,
sense.
we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands.
Well, I mean, that's why the purple ones
Unlike
tend
the
to
other
exist.
primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelve's Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided.
Man with the power of looking to the future here. No, we will be fighting Ramuh.
Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear.
Although that
of
is true, we
influence.
do have
I
that
would ask, therefore,
protection.
that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations.
I feel like some of the primals, if they were, because they're mainly just the summon versions of them, practically. There's no for the Magic the Gathering cards. They're not gonna have like primal on them. Otherwise, you could easily have like the Echo grants protection from primals, or maybe protections from summons. You know, like summons can't actively do stuff to them. That you know what? If that actually is a Magic the Gathering card in the sets. I haven't looked at them fully. Then you know that'd be cool. But yeah, no, probably not. The Echo definitely would be a white enchant, I think, with it. So you know, maybe even like a +1/+1 because it gives you strength as well. So yeah. Theory crafting
The
potential
12's
magic
Wood has
cards.
suffered
Hooray!
enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities.
These are seals we're talking about, of course. The touched ones might do
Dear
some
friend, I
shenanigans if
beseech
we're
you,
not careful, but you know.
safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
Fair enough. Did they just not want to bother having
You
to
have
actually
my
voice a
thanks.
seal? Oh well.
Pray make for little solace then.
Yeah,
A member
I'll
of
do
the
that.
Order of the
and
Twin Adder
make our way
awaits
to
you
London.
there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the 12's wood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Oh, my nose sometimes, I swear. So yes, over to the East Shroud. Ugh, my nose. It's probably going to sort that out. Yeah, you know what? We'll be in the East Shroud for the rest of this, so yeah, I'm just going to go and sort my nose out quickly because clearly it's trying to. Right, that's sorted out, which means I just navigate right back. There we go. Oh, just drop things, I don't know, from one service to another. Anyway, right. You know what, this room is very bright, isn't it? And I think part of that's because of how bright it is outside. Lovely, my coughing is still ongoing. Maybe what we'll do is we'll fight Mamu and then call it a day. I do have to ponder, how is the thing going? That's my ponderings. So I try and move around. You know what? Yeah, it looks fine actually if we get through, but still. Also, we have the kingdoms we can hand in. Might as well hand it in then. Hello, Kiplicop. Hand it in. It's probably not much we need to really talk about that one, as it is a new duty, specifically for March Extreme there. We don't have to go do that at all, just worth handing in so that we don't have enough quest log in the event that we do grab so many quests that we end up needing to go about things in a different manner. Ooh, pardon me. The Serpent Lieutenant, that happens to be here. Ah, Private Fur, was told to expect you. And said you go to treat with the Primal himself. An unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak. That we might ascertain the location of where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Anyway, Levin an impression. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. Do not imagine it will be much longer. And in comes the Sylph. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching, and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched ones summoned the Lord Warren. Time is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good man to his fellow Scions? It will be this one's pleasure. Walking one, please come with this one. And we've now got a quest. We are questing our way to the Scions. So there used to be some quests in between us getting into Little Solace and us being able to take on Warmu. That's what's got cut. Wise ones have ventured deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. Or, you know, we just fly. Because we don't have to actually worry too much. Behold, it's a bee called Stinging Sophie. You know a Sophie in your life and they happen to sting you? Maybe it's a bee and not a human. Maybe they finally learned how to make hybrid human bees. I'm not a fan of that idea that I've just brought into the world. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Warmu and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. So this one must say farewell for now. Walking one will find wise ones not far from here. To the south. Go in safety. Walking one. Alright, okay. Bye, Maxio. It's nice to see you again. Right, anyways, instead of heading in a sensible direction, we must head over here first, where the Scions are here. So it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded Sylph tricksters. I swear with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics. It's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on your Shattered face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, pal Plimo. So yeah, there was a few trickeries that occurred beforehand, but no well. My apologies, it's not like me to ramble so. And anyway, as I was saying, I have finished measuring aetheric activity in the area. I am pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion, to wit, that Warmu has called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's aetheryte. Come, Chris, the Lord of Levin awaits. So yeah, we now head to the aetheryte. That is necessary for us to be able to get into contact with Warmu. And mayhap deal with him if need be. We get cutscenes as we find nearby. See, we're smart enough to bring a party of 5. Instead of just like, oh, it's just me, one and the only person.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of hiding.
Yeah, I do serve Hydran. Hello, Warmu. Please don't cast lightning spells on me. I'm rather allergic to getting electrocuted.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan.
And good Mogul, and good King Mogul good King Mog, the 12th.
I am Ramu,
guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs?
Well, we hope that you don't electrocute us all for starters, and...
The Gridanians proffer
Yeah, they want
peace?
peace.
Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask.
Yeah, we haven't really had to worry too much about touched sylphs doing much outside of, like, a few quests a while back in the main content.
Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other.
Fair.
Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. For light and dark given form when man was born.
Maybe in this universe? I don't know.
It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature.
Universe reason. Because in
Knowing
reality
that thy
reason,
mere
it's a video
presence here
game, we need
portendeth tragedy.
things to do in a video game.
Wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking?
Ah, good, I was sick and tired of being peaceful anyway. At arms! No. Again, I don't really like the idea of electrocution. I have a crystal.
Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges.
Don't know how we got this crystal.
They should entrust so precious a gift to thee.
Wait, hang on. Do I still have... Wait, isn't that is that the lightning crystal I got from a while ago? That can't be it. We used them up to survive a whole bunch of attacks at the end of Run Reborn.
Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee.
I am the main character after all.
Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial.
There we go.
If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Further mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee.
We shall proceed to do so.
If thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me,
Well, he's
bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Contact 7 twats now. Contacting 7 twats.
Eorzea, it is rare indeed to find you so far from at home.
Ah, Eorzea's here.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramuh, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
I mean, Probably good to get some readings on it so that next time we're maybe potentially more prepared if the Sils decide to summon Ramu again and again and again or whatever. But the Stringing Tree has now been added to our Duty Finder. We can now go and do that on our own accord. Obviously, once again, Duty Finder, not Duty Support. Damn it. But how well. See, Extreme is high-end trials, where it's like, it is meant to be a hard version of the thing before in the story, basically. But anyway, Stringing Tree hard. Now we're down level 65, we're doing lower-end content. Woo! Woohoo! So we'll join, and after a time of 11 minutes... Oh, alright. Well, then again, it said 10 minutes on thingy, so... on World Darkness, so, you know... we'll take without what we get. We'll just hover around. Probably should have. Yeah, well, we're already above. Where's the intro play? Oh, I didn't. So, yeah, no, I honestly think that, there's a lot more that can be done with, crossovers for, like, card games. I think it makes sense that Magic went about that games like Fortnite did, and just like, yeah, we'll crossover with everything under the sun. We've already made enough money, and we have the bio recognition, and people will casually be like, oh, what's all this then? So, you know. Meanwhile, someone on Reddit is stating that discovery missions are fun. You just suck at building a ship in terms of Kingdom Hearts. And it's like, Kingdom Hearts 1, yeah, I'll agree on that one. Kingdom Hearts 1 is actually, there's quite a bit of fun you can have with customization, and it makes it a little bit more of an entertaining time instead of just, oh, here we go, holding the circle button, just moving about to make sure I don't get hit by the things I can't shoot down. Kingdom Hearts 2, you don't, in terms of just getting the gummy ship stuff done, you don't have to build. But if you're doing the missions, yeah, you do. You have to. You can't skirt by on just the random things you get by default just by doing it for the story. And as for Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3's gummy ship stuff is so fucking good. It makes me want to pick up a Star Fox game and then put it back down again because I don't have an N64. So, you know. And in wrestling news, R-Truth has been released from WWE apparently. And all I can think is actually fared bad. Or at least that's how everyone seems to go on about it. So, you know. WWE shouldn't fire talent, they should let their contracts expire. We're letting R-Truth and Khalil's contracts expire. Oh yeah, they're getting rid of Khalil as well. That sucks. How dare you! All wrestlers should have jobs for life. That's the thing. I think a lot of anything to do with wrestling contract stuff is like, we shouldn't need to be privy to every aspect of the wrestler's contract. We shouldn't be. We should know who has creative control 100%, because then we know, okay, so if they choose to have a bit of a piss and a moan, we know that they did not agree creatively, i.e. losing to someone. Your Hulk Hogan's of the world, essentially. But to be fair, that was an issue in WCW throughout all of the 90s, where it's just like, why give the wrestlers creative control? Because you're essentially going to be begging it to happen, where it's just like, what? You want me to lose to this up-and-comer you're actually trying to book to become a major star in the promotion? No, I refuse. In fact, I'll still work the match. But we're going to turn it into, they get battered by me and my mates, and I win. What do you mean it doesn't get them over? Of course it would. It would put them over in defeat. In the 30 seconds of the match that exists. Then again, there were a lot more issues than just that with WCW in the 90s, in the late 90s especially, after because let's face it, let's face it, it's like everybody in the WCW wanted to be part of the NWO. It's like fucking even Sting was Wolfpack, so you know it's rather dumb. Thankfully, that all did peter out eventually. Thankfully, but I don't know. The thing with the R-Truth contract thing is that he's old, but you would always think he would have a position because he just was that good comedy-wise. So who knows? Maybe he'll just quietly retire or something, and it's just like, nah. Maybe just R-Truth wasn't going to renew anyway, and they were just like, right, okay. And as for Carlito, nah, who knows? He's just a goon with the Judgment Day, so it's like, eh. Like, I like Carlito, obviously, but there's no harm, nothing of value is lost from Carlito's contract expiring in the next 2 weeks. So, you know, there's not much I can really say or do about it, really, when it comes to contracts. I think the less we know, the better in some ways. I don't need to know how many millions someone may be making. Unless, of course, it's a very outlandish number that makes you just go, what the hell are they thinking? No one is worth that much money. And if they're making that much money, it better be fucking worth it. And better not be like, say, a ratings poison that murders any segment they even breathe in. You know? Because then you're just throwing money away. And they're not worth it. I don't know, I can understand why some people definitely are going, this is a TKO thing. And it's like, maybe TKO just don't understand how to handle wrestling contracts. And think, oh, we just need whoever is the biggest or something, and therefore that will do. Anyone else is expendable. It's like, possibly, but... And I definitely hear people go, obviously they're going to replace them with the NXT or Evolve talent. It's like, they need to be able to be main roster level in order to be replacements. That's the only issue. It's not long till Money in the Bank's coming up, so, you know, at some point this month. No, we actually are waiting near to the average wait time. So I did a bit of looking up with people complaining about the fact that there was only the fact of the 2 seasons of Doctor Who that there have been, and the fact that there is currently no confirmation on any form of next season or anything like that. And it's like, to be fair, if you want to consider each Doctor like an era, then on average they only get 3. The only outliers before this point in time have been McGann with the movie, and then the few things he has shown up for since then, being more short aspects or cameo appearances, so, you know, not too much. Eccleston's never showing up, which is a shame, but he only ever had 1 season, and he fucking hates Russell T Davis's guts, so, yeah, we'll never see him reprise the role of the 9th Doctor ever, pretty much. And then everyone else pretty much had 3 seasons, or 3 or more seasons, or what gets classed as a season. So, you know, I think that's gonna definitely be the glaring thing at the end of the day. It'll be like, what if we got another season? How much would be different? How much would be even worse somehow, you know? Honestly, it's... I'm still humming and ahhing over it. I don't know. I think I've not really been entirely in it, vibing with Doctor Who anyway, because I haven't been for years, but to the point of just straight up just not watching. So, you know, I don't think I'm the best person to truly judge and critique Doctor Who. So, I don't, you know. I think, clearly, if there is such glaring issues, then who knows who on the writing team is the one behind basically everything being stupid. Or everything being great, if you're loving it, you know. Who knows what they'll be in the future, who knows. I don't. End of the day, it's a show that's existed for a long time. If it went away for another 10 years, sure, why not? Maybe that could get BBC to not want to rely on things that make people go, ugh, this is bad. And one thing I'll never bring up is when there are people that will say like, oh, Doctor Who is too woke, oh, Doctor Who's not woke enough. It's like, is it woke for there to be a level of flamboyantness to the proceedings? Is it woke for people to have something that isn't heteronormative? Is it not woke enough when a character ends up becoming a traditional housewife, essentially? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I find it funny that once T. Davis comes back and we get a character getting sent to super hell in a very much a bury a gaze sense. That's just funny in a sense, but also rather sad. Because you'd think a gay person would try to evade the bury a gaze trope. You'd think, but no. We've gone over the average wait time. I've seen the comparison between what Legend CA performs at with the Switch 1 versus the Switch 2. It's like, if I happen to have my hands on a Switch 2 by the time CA comes out in October the 16th, then I can always get the Switch 2 version. If I haven't, I can always get the Switch 1 version. Maybe it'll be a unique experience. Hey, I know most people are going to be playing on the Switch 2, but how is the Switch 1 version? Is it any good? Does it have a performance issue that just makes it so it's like, you shouldn't get the Switch 1 version? You know? On an actual Switch 1, not on like, oh, it's a backwards compatible thing with Switch 2. You know? Maybe that's an angle I can throw at it. Because I don't know when I'll get my hands on a Switch 2. After it's out, because didn't hear that. That's me tapping on the computer I've got. That's cost me money. So, you know. So I can carry on doing the things I love. Lot of wrestlers tweeting about how much they love R-Truth. And it's like, yeah, R-Truth is amazing. That is job. Is there anything else I can yap about? Oh yeah, I just seem to have this idea of just randomly looking at magic cards lately. You know. So it is. Waiting to do the Ramu fight. It's 8:03 on a Monday morning. I think we've timed this wrong. Alright, let's look at Chris's music taste for a bit. What have I... What does YouTube mix for me, you know? The Super Mix. Deftones, Pierce the Veil, Billy Talent, Starset, Shinedown, Rise Against, Gorn, Follow My Valentine, Bring Me the Horizon, Radiohead, My Chemical Romance, Linkin Park. Is it the new Linkin Park? No, old Linkin Park. Cool. Disturbed, 1000-Foot Crutch, Call of Duty Zombies soundtrack, specifically Beauty of Annihilation. So yeah, you know, yeah, that's a good song. Never really played much Call of Duty Zombies, to be honest, but then again, I wasn't someone who really had much access to Call of Duty outside of going to friends' houses back in the day and being really bad, like really, really bad at the game, like absolute dog shit. I was definitely the person you'd kill to get a free point and to try and win against the other sweaty swats. Some Foo Fighters, such Tarkin. Man, I really am. Man, my Super Mix really does limit what I've got. Hey, there's Arc Systems. I was wondering where Guild Gear Strive soundtrack songs would end up appearing on here. I can't actually play any of these songs because, you know, that's a quick bonk on the head by YouTube. Forgotten Favourites. Is that artwork based off of Silent Hill 3? Can't tell for sure. I recently listened to... Oh no, specifically Next to Nothing, not Saturate as a whole. I was about to say, I've listened to Saturate recently. What the fuck? Obviously, yeah, Mayday's gonna get put on there by 3 Days Grace, because yeah, that's more recent. Mayday's a more recent song. So I probably listened to it and went, yeah, no, this is good. And then not listen to it as much again. Is the digital circus theme a Forgotten Fate? Oh, then again, I did like it apparently. So, yeah, I don't buy the Forgotten Favors bit sometimes. Currently, we can hear in shorts a bunch of pop music as per usual. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. Electronica for studying. That's the type of music I should ask the Gemini stuff, or whatever it's called here, because I know the Samsung stuff is Gemini, right? That's the AI stuff. I don't know why AI is a thing that's getting pushed still. It just, as someone that draws their own thumbnails, AI is shit. I mean, obviously, yeah, some of it would be probably better looking overall-wise compared to my thumbnails, but like, it's just stupid. You know what? Maybe I am a real shite artist, you know? Yeah, and even I recognise the folly of AI. Because for creative purposes, it's not a good idea. I don't get this. Before. My output there would be needed to be higher. I gained a few at some point. I wouldn't be surprised that it disappeared. To be fair, all I'm doing is yapping. Right, okay, so when we eventually get into Ramu, then there's a bunch of additional quests that occur. That goes from a Serpent Lieutenant all the way to being back in Rising Stars, because the aircraft was left form. But so patch 2.3, we're actually halfway through the patch essentially. Patch 2.4 has 18 quests. Path of the Righteous is the quest that unlocks Snowcloak, and then the instruments are Deliverance is for the Amphitheater, and then 2.5 has Keeper of the Lake and the Chrysalis, and 2.55 which is a continuation of 2.5, has the Broken Bridges original duty thing. And then in patch 5.3, these are all the quests that we lost. Flowers for One, the Resolute, Rock Solid Protection, Crate Go Kaboom, Better Late Than Sever, Welcome to Mobile Country, Answering the Call. They're going to carry that. A bunch of stuff from Strathport, so we want to do more in Mordona as well. Things we do for tea, a small scale operation. If wishes were horsebirds, Full Belly Happy Heart, Weaving in the Dark, Fireworks and Fish Don't Mix, a Sylphland Sting, Scattered Scions, True to Form, so these ones are the Sylphlands related stuff, a Hard Haplet to Break, Picking Up the Sledge, and the Doman Connection. So these were all the quests in patch 5.3 that we lost to the 2.3 stuff. And there's even a CEO, so Realm Reborn Overhaul. So we can actually see what they removed. So in the Gridanian quest chain, they changed the Close to Home to having 3 steps from 4. The F for Effort quest got removed. We didn't actually do that one, basically. Yeah, it didn't exist. The Iron Collection for Eggs Over Creasy got changed from 8 to 3. Butcher of Green Tear got removed. The Soldier's Breakfast got Iron Collection reduced from 4 to 1 and kills reduced from 6 to 3. Feeding Time got removed. Ruffled Feathers got removed. Skeletons in My Deep Croft got removed. I swear, yeah, I was thinking there was a quest where you fight some skeletons. Lights Out got removed. Leia's Legacy went to 6 steps instead of 7. And similar stuff with Limbs I Dargan. No changes to Close to Home. But Featherfield got removed. Item Collection on Plowsheds to Swords got from 3 to 2. Courier for a Day got removed. Thanks a Million had 2 steps changed to steps. Farmer of Fortune got removed. Relighting the Torch got 6 steps changed. On to the Dry Docks had 1 step changed. Same with Without Doubt. A lot of steps got changed throughout pretty much all the rest of the quests. And in Oldar, same again. A lot of quests had changes to the steps and some got removed. Disorderly Conduct until required time. Sprigging Cleaning. Compulsory Catering. They all got removed. In the 15 to 20 range, pretty much most quests had slight changes to the proceedings in terms of the steps, but none of the quests got removed. 21 to 30, again, a lot of changes to the steps as a whole, but Ratting It Out got removed, so we were meant to have another quest from Hihi Baru during the whole let's try and actually get ourselves in to that investigation of Ashians, while also before heading to Del Alamigo and all that. Then after a modest proposal, when we're talking King to Landonel to get the turtle egg, Repentant Man and Changing the Guard quests got removed, so we only ended up having to do Trial by Turtle. Moving into the 31 to 40, the Drake exception from Under Nurse, is still in that quest line, got removed. So, you know, things we do for cheese, we do for both there. Not My War from Drast, that's when we were trying to get the wine sorted. That got removed. A Final Ignominy got removed as well. Right before, so that was right before the feast. Then with a Little Elbow Grease got removed, as well as a tall drink of Aqua del Sol, and the Warden works in mysterious ways. So yeah, a bunch of stuff removed there as well. Feats of Strength from Horshafont got removed, so we were meant to have another quest before the Talk of Corfas with Horshafont. Fair enough. All by Ourselves, as it got removed. That was in between Ye of Little Faith and Factual Folklore. So, and between Factual Folklore and the Best Inventions was meant to be Opportunity Knocks. That got removed. Pretty much most other quests had steps changed to them. In 41 to 50, All Due Precautions got removed. I've started blocking out all the various step changes at this point. Of Sylphs and Spriggans got removed. Crazy Enough to Work also got removed. And then moving on through, Cape Westwind got churned into a Stylo Instance Battle. We did that on the stream a while ago. Then past that, there were a few additional 49 quests, which is why there's a chance you just end up level 50. End up not level 50 when you need it to be. As Layer on Darkness, all upon the watchtowers and setting the stage, all got removed. And then what the Castrum, obviously Castrum Meridian got changed to a 4-player dungeon, as did the Praetorium in the Ultimate Weapon, and Port de Cremona was had a trial added. In terms of Visions post One Were Born, main scenario Visions post One Were Born, Flowers One got removed in 2.1. So did the Resolute, Warpside Protection, Crate Go Boom, Ballad and Sever, Run the Mobile Country, Answer with Cool, Carry That, Things We Do for Tea. So yeah, those quests were back in 2.1, 2.2. A few of them were, quite a few were removed there. 2.3 was, yeah, the Silver related quests all got removed, so it's like, as well did the, yeah, so there was maybe a little bit more between us doing Ramu and then like there'd be a few more quests while doing the next bit. In 2.4, only Dome and Connection got removed. Other than that, the rest of the quests remain as is, outside of any of the steps getting changed. 2.5, yeah, no quests removed, but they did add the required completion of the Light of Hope, which is the Crystal Tower storyline, in A Time to Every Purpose. Right, okay, we have been sat here yapping for a good 26 minutes. I don't think we're getting in at this time. So there's two options really. One is I will just try at a later point, either whether on stream or off stream, and then I can just upload it onto YouTube if I do it off stream, and that's whatever, we'll do it at whatever time then. Or we could just twiddle our thumbs more. I'd rather not do that, to be honest. My throat is starting to kill me a little. So, you know, we are just not around at all. This is happening. Sam needs 8 players. We'll withdraw. We'll come back to this at a later point, I think. So, until next time, I'll see you all. Bye bye.